Welcome out, gamers and gamettes, to this RGL.gg Challenger Highlander match. Mixing it up this week, dipping down into the second highest division to get a Battle of the Titans. I am Alto, joined by Zagron at my side, Dolphin behind the camera as always. Zag, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Like you mentioned, we got to change of pace here tonight with this challenger match. Desperado, we got Team Desperado Crash Mambo Combo versus Team Yeye. For those of you who aren't aware, these are the two highest rated teams right now in the challenger region. Yeye on a 5-0 streak, Desperado dropping down to 4-1. This will be their chance to kind of even the standings here going into playoffs soon.
Yeah, these two teams, as well as my RGL profits, have declined, being the top three teams in Challenger, kind of battling out, I'd say, really as a three-horse race right now. Yee has already defeated Profits earlier in the season in a close 2-1 on Vigil, I believe, whereas DCMC took a pretty hard loss to Profits on Product. So depending on how this match goes, we'll either see a bit of a rock, paper, scissors kind of form at the top, or potentially a more solid 1-2-3 hierarchy. And with a lot of these players, some of the players on DCMC being very familiar names if you've been hanging around the invite scene for quite some time. What with DZ Creeper, Cinder, Michael, and even names like Pyrus or Blizztank have been kind of near the top of the game for a decent amount of time, whereas Yee is the kind of uprising team. They had a bit of controversy last season as they had one of their subs was cheating in playoffs, and it ended up costing them grand finals. However, since being formed, I believe it was 3 seasons ago, they won intermediate as a full team of rookies, moved up to main, and were positioning themselves to win main or at least place before that incident happened. And now they're moving up into Challenger, skipping over Advanced entirely, and are currently undefeated. So a lot of the players on Yi probably haven't heard before. A lot of people probably haven't heard of before. However, I would expect to be seeing a lot more of them in the future. So
Yeah, with that bit of backstory behind this match out of the way, we can go ahead and run down the rosters formally. On Team Desperado, we have RPC on Scout, Blizztank on Soldier, Pyrus on Pyro, DZ Creeper on Demo, Luigi on Heavy, Michael on NG, Q on Medic, Cinder on Sniper, and Jack on Spy.
Right, and on the side of Yee, Dot Wet will be on Scout, Toss on Soldier, Moxie on Pyro, Det on Demoman, appropriate name, Yee on Heavy, presumably the mascot, Constantly on Engineer, Sakura on Medic, Homeless on Sniper, and Jay on Spy.
Yeah, been definitely a lot more recognizable names on Desperado for those people who are have been watching TF2 Highlander for a while now. Like you mentioned, DZ Creeper, Cinder, Michael, all people who we've seen play before. Yee, those rookies, those more of the unknown entities coming up, and they are playing very well. So there is definitely a lot to look forward to on their side.
Yeah, and I mean, I think if from going off of pre-season scrims, at least when our team was still alive, DCMC did seem to be the stronger team. Both, kind of behind the weight of their experience and just in, a couple of, key factors with, even though DZ Creeper has been running Shield Demo a lot of the season, just having people with, more kind of experience, higher DM, and potentially better coordination at times, I think made me look towards them as who would be the favorites here. However, we did see DCMC have a weak showing on Product, and Yee is a team that, you can't go from intermediate to challenger in over the span of 2 seasons and maintain a ridiculously high winning record. If you don't include the 2 losses they had due to the cheating incident in main, I think the team record is something like 20-1 right now, taking a loss last season in main. So you don't get that many wins without being able to improve a lot over the course of the season. And I believe DCMC's scrims this week haven't been the sharpest. So I think we're definitely going to see a very good match tonight.
Yep, and in case we didn't say it or we want to reiterate it here, we are on Lakeside, Koth map again for this one. It's a bit of a less traditional Koth map in that a lot of the recent upcomers might not have played this nearly as much as Product, Cascade, or Asheville, but this is still a very staple Koth map in TF2, and it's very imperative that teams understand the dynamics of this map and how it's different from the others.
Yeah, and I mean, I think one of the biggest things about it is just the size of it, right? I mean, there's so much more space on Lakeside that is constantly being used in fights, And the kind of dynamic of how that, that one inside area bathhouse plays out is something that, it still feels like top players are kind of arguing about how the best way to approach that is. Do you flood through it? Do you hold it? When do you send your combo in there? Who should be watching it? How do we stop people from getting behind on our ruins? And then on top of that, the large bats area gives a lot of space for soldiers and spies to come in, cause a lot of chaos on the flank, whereas the point can just be an absolute meat grinder in terms of both heavies having tons of really good angles here, scouts being able to run people down, demos getting spam over the point, and snipers having very large sightlines.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what the teams actually start doing once the game gets underway. If anyone opts to go for the bathhouse hold that we know invite teams have been trying to perfect for a while now. The top teams of the game have been able to, but a lot of the people trying to kind of imitate them have not been as lucky. So I want to see if any of these challenger teams here have seen it, they know how it's done, they want to attempt it here against a team who they think they can do it too.
Yeah, definitely. And whether or not, or I should say how these teams are going to approach that is something that we should hopefully have a pretty good idea of after the first mid. Um, I should for professional purposes state I am subbing on DCMC this season. May have been part of the reason why this match came up to our attention, but a lot of the invite matches this week, for any of those wondering why we are in Challenger, were looking a little bit lackluster. And kind of dipping down into one of the Lord of Stochast is something that we've always enjoyed doing, getting some new faces, seeing something different, and it seemed like a good week for it. However, I know they've had some discussions about just again how to deal with Bathhouse, right? Who's going in there, and I'm going to be very interested to see how again this first mid plays out. I know Yeye on product, at least from our experience playing them, they tended to be a very very aggressive team on mid fights. Willing to just send a ton of people over the point or whatever the shortest way is to get to the frags, right? And that kind of aggression can be very very powerful against a team that's not prepared for it. But these teams have been scrimming each other all season, so who comes out on top, as I think we should be starting pretty soon, I think, as most of the players are in the server. Again, something I'm very much looking forward to.
Yeah, we can go ahead and talk about some comparisons to do who are the key players to look out for on this Lake side. I can go first. I really want to see DZ Creeper Demo Man. I want to see what Det is going to do to keep up with him, because DZ Creeper, like we mentioned, he's been running Shield a lot, and I feel he's on Shield right now in this pregame, so he might keep that one up. While you might think that Shield Demo has a harder time keeping up in DPS with Demo Man using stickies, there's actually situations where if you're reloading pipes properly, you're aiming and you're hitting on the Iron Bomber rollers, even if they don't hit directs, even if the rollers are just good zoning tools. The shield allows you to play a lot more aggressive, take a lot more damage, and just find better angles for spam. So it's not necessarily as troll as a lot of people think it is. Like shield demo, yes, stickies have more damage potential at the top, but shield just has a lot of hidden power that DZ Creeper's been exploiting. And I want to see if that is going to be able to respond to that in kind with his reduced damage to that DZ Creeper shield.
Agreed, because again, and on top of that too, what the shield loses in terms of damage output, the other thing I think it also loses in terms of zoning, right? Just being able to put stickies somewhere and kind of control people's movements because they know they're going to eat a lot of damage if they run into it is something that's a downside. However, you are so much stronger in demo v demo fights. In a demo v demo fight on a mid, you basically cannot die as long as you don't just walk into 4 pipes in a row. Meaning that it forces the enemy team's scout to be significantly more aggressive because hit scan is really the only thing that can kill you there. So a team that's aware of the necessity for a scout to kind of run in and get those close range meat shots can play around that and protect him. And it ends up being, again, maybe a slightly less damage, but significantly, higher defensive power. And again, worst case, you can overextend for pipe damage, quickly 180 and just charge out. So
yeah, it's going to be up to the hit scan classes of Yeye to try and help shut DZ Creeper down, give their element some help. We got Dot Wet on Scout, and I want to see Yeye on Heavy, what he's able to do as well, because Heavy on Lakeside is a very big, like, I don't want to say it's a power class necessarily, but it's very important how you play it, because your ceiling on Heavy on this map involves you taking damage, but also getting a bunch of cleanup and making a bunch of distractions, and having proper positioning is difficult even for the Heavies who've played this map to death.
Yeah, because it's always a kind of tug of war of who's going what side do you want to play on, and how to make sure you're staying out of that. That being said, on those stickies, Det will make it to mid substantially before DC Creeper, getting a little bit of chip damage into DCMC's main, as Yeye, though, going to be caught out on the cross. First frag going down very early. DC Creeper getting blown back, only living, but Yeye is super forward. The heavy and the team on the other team side of the map will eventually go down, but forces all of DCMC back, getting a frag onto Pyrus. Michael Lilly going to go down, as well as Toss behind on the enemy team's bat, going to take out Q. That Cowmangler disintegrating his body, and the aggressive mids that we've predicted coming out of Yeye are going to be, prevalent. They will get the med pick. Sakura actually being forced back quite a decent amount here. But as she's got full Uber ad, they've got all the time in the world here. Blitztank going in for the sack. Not going to be able to get the kill or the force here, as Pyrus getting a lot of cap time, but I wonder how long this is going to last, because worst case, he can pop out and get the point.
Yeah, and they're going to do that. DC Creeper got sniped initially, so this is a free Uber for the side of Yeye, trying to get as many kills as they can. Point didn't actually get capped up, so they popped just in time to deny that. Yeye is going to be able to get this first capture, although Q is up a bit early from his spawn, so we'll have a 20% advantage. We're going to have to see if DCMC want to keep trying to re-aggress here. They do get a kill on Moxie, although Pyrus did get traded on that one. There's the 6x capture, and point goes to Yeye first.
And staying out of those sightlines as DC Creeper is going to be so important here, because if you get sniped, running the shield doesn't do anything. You might as well have been on stickies and put out more damage in that time you are alive than you are, kind of playing around the explosive resistance of it. As that being said, he is playing, DC is very far forward, trying to get stickies in, or pipes in, trying to do that
DCMC have
damage.
a very heavy bathhouse presence right now. Luigi and Blitztank have kind of walked through and taken it, gotten all the kills in there. Yeye and Dotwet going to get taken down, and that should be free point presence for the side of DCMC. We see DC Creeper charging to try and get some ammo, but he gets headshot like you mentioned, so that's going to be a bit unfortunate. Ubers are traded onto the point as Homeless and Toss are taken down. DCMC have more numbers in the post. Their Uber is later as well, so they're going to be able to herd Yeye back into their spawn area, and that's a successful recapture for DCMC just 45 seconds into the round.
Yep, Ubers will be ever so slightly in the favor of Yeye after that, however, not big enough to really matter. Yeye, they're looking to call a full retreat.
There's the bathhouse hold.
Maybe, yeah, bathhouse hold coming out from DCMC. Cinder sitting in that left side, getting the angle into Yeye's main. Really troublesome angle, but they're going to be able to walk through it as he's forced back. Yeye getting close right here, going to take some damage from Zoe, be forced back, as the stickies, though, coming out of Det are putting some pressure onto the DCMC combo. Not enough, though. DC Creeper getting hurt a little bit, but deceptively safe on that shield right there, as it looks like Q is going to leave Bath and, kind of forfeit that hold. DC getting sniped again, but Yeye and Homeless both getting stabbed out by Jack on a 5k right here. Going to make that push very difficult, although Yeye has taken control of Bathhouse.
Yeah, watch out for Ubers here in a second. Q has us up 10% faster than Sakura. Sakura needs to get this one off. Uber does get popped in the backline. Sack in gets that one, but a lot of kills coming in for DCMC. Bomb in to try and get the enemy medic down, and that will come through. We see cleanup from Q and RPC getting that kill onto Sakura, taking down that enemy medic, and they're going to keep their Uber advantage here. They did lose 4 in the meantime, and the slower spawns means that Yeye will have some chance to get aggressive, but for now they have held on the side of DCMC.
Yeah, a very early pop coming out of Q. Toss was bombing from behind, and while it was called, Q actually hadn't taken any damage yet before the rocket came out. But there is DZ getting picked again. This shield not really going to provide too many benefits when you cannot, keep your life out of the hands of the Yeye pick classes right now. But as you said, in the lead-in, that it would be those exact pick classes that would need to keep DZ down, and they're doing a very good job of it, and that's where they're going to find themselves with the point right now. Yeye, though, going down, RPC sitting on that 9k, the pocket pistol.
Pocket pistol, too. It's been
not something you see too often. But... big pencil bomb out of Toss right there, gonna live. Homeless getting stabbed out, no sniper is going to be a very big boon for DCMC pushing.
Yeah, point is half capped up right now for DCMC, trying to edge it from both sides. DZ walking forward left side. Gets set on fire, but that shield's gonna give him some resistance. Point almost capped up, some air blasts in from Pyrus trying to send them back, and there is a lot of damage in onto the Yeye combo behind here. I say Yeye, Jesus, that's a callback, but the point does get capped up for DCMC. Gonna get that one. Both meds on 100% Uber, ready to get this fight up going, and it is popped first by Yeye.
Yeah, they're taking the heavy in across point there to get him into that corner. Interesting strategy right there. He's going to be on the enemy team's obelisk, and Pyrus going to be able to spray him down. And the frags otherwise all going over to the side of DCMC. Big bomb coming out of Toss, but ooh, the air blast going to stop him in his tracks. Pop him up. Cap time coming in for Yeye, but there's an air of desperation to it. Dotwet going to go down. Sakura forced back, not on the best health right there. Ubers again even, but DCMC has a death grip on this point.
Oh, he can't get Cinder, but does find DZ Creeper. I feel like DZ Creeper's died at least 5 times to pick classes this round. We'll have to wait on that spawn timer to get him back up. Both meds at about 50% Uber and a lot of bathhouse contention coming out right now. Yeye are going to get that one as Homeless and Toss trade their lives for it. Now going to walk onto the point, try and get this heavy off it, but standing tall is Luigi, doing a lot of damage here, as well as Micah Lele, the hit scan, trying to shove these players off the point. Micah getting left out for dead, going to get taken down, and that is a numbers advantage for Yeye right now.
Jack beefing a stab, going to escape with his life. No, will go down, eats the blast damage off of a pipe on to... that is Luigi gonna end up going down. Yeye, though, gets sniped out, so Zoe can snipe, or Cinder, excuse me, can snipe in peace. Big jumps coming out of the explosive classes on Yeye, gonna walk across, and they are going to be able to pull that point with the distraction coming in from that. The Uber
Yeye
came
wins his
out
heavy 1v1 against Luigi, and he kept his life, so he's going to be able to get healed back up, but unfortunately got killed at the end by a snipe from Cinder. So now they're all walking across point. Recap coming in for DCMC. They're trying to get these last players off the point. If they recap and hold for 2 seconds, they get the round. There's the capture, Soccering it, taken out in the backline, and round 1 has gone the way of DCMC.
Yeah, it looked like he had a very solid aggression coming out of it, coming out of the gates, but even with DZ's constant deaths, it just, the defenses coming out of DCMC were really solid. They were never, giving too many people over. DZ was dying, in fights where he'd have time to respawn. And it looked like Yee's Ubers were a little bit suspect.
Let's see how they switch that one up. It looks like this mid, we're going to go the same fast, aggressive left side push from Yeye, trying to bomb in. Cinder gets his life taken away by Toss, trades in the end. Det going to get a kill onto Q, though, so Uber advantage is had by Yeye right now. That aggressive mid working wonders once again. The med does get traded, though, and bomb onto Sakura by Blitztank, negating that Uber disadvantage. Here comes Jack in the end, trying to find some cleanup. Can't get it. And that is the medic. That's the all-for-one. That's the 9-player sack for the medic mid right there.
Yeah, I mean, but when when you're losing the mid that solidly and Q already died, it ends up being alright since they'll actually have a slight 10% add.
Oh my God.
DZ, though, gonna get sniped walking up from his bottom right on the far side of point, and it looks like they can sniff Yeye out here. He's still alive for now, takes the pack, and it doesn't seem to have been noticed, so DCMC has been able to walk up right behind point, and again, this ad has now extended to 20% on the side of Q, which could be meaningful, but DZ gets stabbed.
Jesus
again.
Christ.
These pick classes are absolutely removing DZ Creeper from play, and that's going to stall their push. Even though Toss and Yeye go down,
yeah, Jack
RPC and Micah, actually, the hit scan barrage, all walking up across point, doing their best right now. Homeless, nowhere to be found in sniping them. Eventually, they will take out Luigi, and here comes in Blitztank. Over the top, going to try.
In the backline, combining with the soldier bomb, getting the stab onto Sakura. Great distraction by Blitztank there to make sure it's spiking at an easy stab. And that's a full Uber advantage now for DCMC. And they have the early setup in Bathhouse 2. Cinder on that Sydney Sleeper actually trying to get a shot into main. Ends up trading a shot. You see a bomb in here from Soldier. Toss gonna get tossed backwards. DZ gets sniped. I feel like I'm watching DZ get sniped on repeat. There's dot bombing and trying to force this Uber, and will get that with a pipe. Didn't hit it, but the threat was enough to make them pop. Now they're gonna push through Bathhouse here, trying to clean up whatever kills they can. Yeye does go down at the end. Bomb in, late from Blitztank, gonna try and get this NG pick. He gets it off, takes down the teleporter before getting flamed down, and that's a pretty even trade, but that is successful for Yeye because they kept their medic alive.
Right, and the time is only just going into DCMC's favor, so if they're able to either come back in with the flank of DCMC still being on a 5-second respawn here, and keep Sakura alive with the ad, it'll be very good for them and put them in a solid position in this round. Mike's gonna be forced back to get the pass, and DZ, this is scripted! This has to be scripted. I don't think he's died to a non-pick class yet, and he's probably got over 10 deaths.
Yeah, we're gonna see Yeye walk forward onto point. They have their heavy Yeye in the bathhouse, gets stabbed out by Jack though, making some space for his team. Blitztank now with full control of that. Jack gonna look for a bomb, coming in, gets reflected once, goes around the obelisk, jumps back, keeps his life, and now DCMC are going for a repush here with this numbers advantage. They don't have Uber though. Jack gets headshot. Here's the Uber popped out from Yeye. But we see Pyrus does a good job pushing the medic back. They are gonna get 7 of their players out alive in time. So good denial from DCMC there, and now they're gonna have Uber to work with.
Yeye on the side here, maybe looking to find something. DZ extremely aggro, gonna surf out. They have Uber on the side of DCMC, so all Q needs to do is pop. Yeye, oh, in such a good spot there. Decloak, goes for the decloak. Cinder not gonna turn.
Yeah. Easy pick onto the sniper, but unfortunately Yeye... Oh, but the Det jump in! Gonna Det onto Q and drop him, sinking those stickies together. Great job by the demo man of Yeye. Although in the back line, they don't have as many people up. They're gonna have to try and get onto point. Get as many people killed as you can to keep your medic alive. If Sakura doesn't get traded here, it's a big success for Yeye.
was about to ask if DZ died at something that wasn't a pick class, but no, he lived this time.
Yeah, still alive in the back line.
As Luigi's still actually really far forward right now. Easy gonna dodge out everyone, but Cinder getting sniped out. That Sydney will find a kill onto Constantly. Cinder not having the best game right now, kind of that Sydney kind of evidence to that fact. Jay-Z caught out in the back line, won't be able to...
DZ has a scout on him.
But the Uber comes out onto Ruins right now, onto a Heavy. Moxie's gonna get caught out behind. Blizztank just ignores the Heavy. I'm not
the
sure.
pack too. I feel like he forced that Uber and then he got a kill onto Homeless in the end too. So that Uber force was perfect for DCMC. The Uber went into the enemy main and unfortunately they aren't able to find anything. So disaster strikes for Yeye once they had a solid hold and an Uber advantage.
I don't think that Blizztank forced that. Sakura was at full health.
Maybe. I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
I just didn't expect that. I wasn't looking at it, but either way, that's just collapse from Yeye.
And not a very strong Uber from them, and I think if they had held on to that and maybe waited to defend the point with it, would have been in a much better spot. But ooh, RPC getting really aggro onto Ruins, gonna force back Homeless a little bit, you know, stopping him from maybe getting an angle, but will end up taking out Cinder anyway, so that defensive sniper will kind of open up the gates for all of Yeye to spread out, take some more wide angles, but it looks like they are gonna try to push through Bathhouse right now. Yeye leading the charge for the team, the player himself, to be taking that.
Look at Jack in the back line. He's
ooh,
trying to fight Sakura. Sakura turns around just in time, going to keep his life on that one. Now it's about the point contest. We see Hitscan flanking out wide. Luigi and Micah going into the enemy palm tree, doing a lot of zoning work. Actually, Micah standing big on this point now. Does have to back up. We see Jack and RPC down in the meantime. Luigi gets Constantly as a trade, and Uber was forced out because of all that pressure. We're going to see contesting onto the Ruins. Yeye trying to get caught out. Homeless has sniped down Cinder once again. Feels like the third time this round. And right now we see Pyrus trying to trade whatever he can in this. Going to get taken down, not find much. And that is a good push from Yeye. Going to get the point back. But DCMC's medic does make it out alive.
Yeye actually kept his life there, dipped into the water, and to let his team deal with Pyrus, but... It's funny though how when they popped Uber on DZ there, RPC got sniped right at the beginning of it, and not having stickies meant that DZ had to use that Uber to just slowly walk away. If you've only got pipes into a pyro, as even in an Uber, there's literally nothing you can do about that. So the bath hold is solid, and Homeless gonna pull out a Dom onto Cinder. 30 seconds left on the timer, and DZ is gonna go down to Dotwet. That may be the first non-pick class death we've seen. But
Homeless standing on this angle.
Bath.
Snipes down Q. Jay-Z takes out Luigi. Another headshot from Homeless out onto Pyrus. Jay-Z doubling up onto Blitztank as well. Pick class is finding 4 frags for Yeye. But on the backline, we see Blitztank and Jack getting a bunch of kills themselves. Soldier and Spy for DCMC have been very big. Point almost capped up. We see Jack getting another kill onto the Heavy of Yeye himself. And now it's about respawners. Time is almost double overtime for both teams. It's about getting the point faster. And right now the spawns are in favor of DCMC. Gonna get their Heavy and Pyro here. Soldier as well. Hopefully this cap can come in for them as they have point present. Air blast off the point from Pyrus. Gonna get taken down by the scout of Yeye. It's all about testing after post. Right now both teams on the point. Jay-Z gets the stab onto DZ. Creeper though constantly walking forward. Shotgun shots onto Luigi and Cinder. Now respawns are in favor of Yeye. They're going to get onto the point, and it's so hard to contest them. It's going to be a lot of kills coming in. Jack, one last stab onto Yeye again, contesting this point all alone, but no one's there to help him. That's going to be the cap up for Yeye, and we are tied 1-1.
Yeah, what a crazy round right at the end there. A couple of weak Ubers, I feel, from both teams, but it ended up, culminating in that really long overtime fight where I thought DCMC might have been able to take it due to their shorter spawns, but they managed to pull out the cap with the 4 seconds they had remaining, but Luigi going down, I think, was something they really wanted to avoid. Having that Heavy is so good in these overtime fights, and Yeye, was able to keep Yeye alive. And
we're doing a bathhouse mid this time. They're not pushing across left side. Yeye have 5 players in bath taking control. Jack is going to try and decloak early. Stab onto Homeless. Easy stab for him. Still walking up. Going to find the stab onto Det as well. Really long walk up when uncalled, but the bombs forward onto Q were successful from Yeye. Their mids have looked infinitely cleaner. They're just able to walk forward and take control, but all the pick classes in the end get culminated into a numbers advantage for DCMC. Even though they're at a full Uber disad, they will get the first point cap here.
That's like the old Chill Penguins tactic, it feels like. 9-man for the enemy med, kill him, and then lose the fight. At least Sakura gets out, which is the silver lining here. So she will have that Uber able to re-push with. And if they can get this point back fairly quickly, as she's just coming up on it now, that strategy will actually end up probably working out for them. But with each second that goes by, DCMC gets more and more of an advantage. Blizztank gonna get stabbed as an opening frag. Pyrus going down too. No, Pyro to deny this. The Heavy Uber again, I think, just trying to get Yeye in there to take up space.
They're gonna have players on behind him. Jay-Z does get caught up. Homeless gonna win another SVS onto Cinder. And there is a lot of hit scan cleanup. Jay-Z and Dotwet have gone down. Luigi as well taking down constantly. But this Bathhouse Peak is a lot. Yeye doing damage to DZ Creeper, taking him out. And the point should get capped up for the side of Yeye. We see headshot in from Homeless onto Blitz Tank. Soldier Bomb in onto Toss. We see Moxie trying to go for the med kill. Not going to find it, unfortunately. They do still have their medic alive on Uber, though. Yeye going to have the cap, but Uber decided to work with. Homeless is on this angle, though. It's super threatening. Jack and RPC going to go down to explosion classes. DZ Creeper dying again to the scout. Some hit scan taking him down easily. And they're not able to recontest quite yet. They're going to try and edge here, but Homeless and Yeye in this bathhouse are putting a stop to that.
Yeah, and I feel like they don't need to bring Yeye in at all these Ubers, but the positioning he's getting because of them is at the very least beneficial. You know, he was able to take out DZ Creeper in the end there, sitting on those bathhouse steps. A lot of Uber, though, comes back. DZ gonna get sniped, but the Uber comes out, and RPC gonna be blown into the stratosphere as a much better Uber comes out on the side of Yeye, taking the scout in this time. They are chasing Q all the way in, back into spawn, but no, it looks like they will call that off. They don't want to risk Sakura going down here, which is a perfectly fine decision. You have the point. Your medic going down is probably better, or it's better to not trade. Let the attacking medic live. But the Bathhold is not in position right now. Micah and Blizztank actually have control over it, as DCMC will keep up the pressure, trying to get some, you know, just space there. But Micah's gonna go down, and DZ not hitting enough pipes here. Although Dotwet actually will run into one, take it low.
There's Jay in the back line, finding the backstab onto Q, and now full numbers advantage for Yeye, heal advantage as well. They're going to lose their pyro, but they're at about a 7v6 with heals right now. They're going to walk onto the point, try and get this recapture. DZ is still spamming pipes, and they do have a heavy over in the head glitch. Luigi getting piped down himself, low HP. It's just one on the cap right now. It will go through for Yeye. Gonna try and reset. Sakura with 85% Uber to Q's 15. It's gonna be a good position to hold for Yeye, as they do have Homeless and Yeye in the bathhouse once again.
Exactly, and I really want to start seeing Cinder stepping it up right here. You know, all that experience to bottom score the server here. Homeless, not a bad player by any means, but not anyone elite, I don't feel. But that being said, a lot of aggression coming out of Yeye, gonna be punished. Some overextending right there. Gonna give 4 kills now directly over to DCMC for free.
Uber,
Point's gonna come back and they're gonna force it onto Yeye.
Okay,
yeah,
but you have 2 players alive. This is a 3-person Uber. They just waited until everyone was dead before they popped here. Yeye on the front line trying to make something out of it. He's just gonna get stabbed. Their medic gets bombed, and just bad decision making from Yeye there. They didn't use in time, and they just dropped everybody.
Blizztank synced 2 rockets onto Sakura in her main, right as Dotwit took the teleporter in main, and he got 2 for the price of 1. Yeah, that was just really, you know, poor decision making to take a heavy that far in. I mean, if Yeye wants to walk in, that's fine, but Sakura overcommitted way too far.
The poor decision making came way before then. Everything after that was just a collapse afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. But we will see DCMC holding Bath right now. Ooh, slick bomb out of death, gonna take out Q. That was clean. The perfect arc to get in through the door. Pipe and a sticky, I believe it was. Q instantly goes down. Might have been a drop there as well. The time is still in the favor of DCMC, as are the numbers right now, as Det is just spawning. Sakura sitting on 70%. They are going to find Cinder caught out, though. Yeah, and this might be a free cap for them.
Yeah, we see 5 people on the point for Yeye. Their power gets out alive. They have everyone up right now, trying to get this contest. We have Yeye standing out there with a fist. Going to be impossible to dislodge that fat man. And now that's a full easy capture for Yeye. 100% Uber ad to work with here. They are at a 30-second disadvantage, so they will have to deal with that. But full Uber ad and a bathhouse setup is what they have in return.
Yeah, Q, again, only on 30 with a minute left will be enough time, but Luigi going down, not going to make things any easier. Blizztank as well, Toss going to find 2. Pyrus trying to do his best to edge, but that mini will stop it. As looks like there's a bit of server lag.
Bomb out from bathhouse here from Yeye, trying to find the medic. It's just Demo Man solo right now, not able to find anything. Pyro doing a good job denying him. That can get reflected and killed.
Dotwet just beefed so hard, had so many shots to land in on Q. Not going to land them, but Moxie!
Double reflect pipe onto Pyrus and DZ, gonna completely save that fight for his team so far. Unfortunately, gonna drop a lot of players in return, and they didn't force the Uber out of Q. They need to try and get this Uber forced here, as they're gonna be at a time disad once the cap goes over to DCMC here. But that said, no one's capping it quite yet. Finally, they're gonna get the scout
Can't
here.
dislodge Yeye.
Yeah, Sakura is on the... They're going to get Ubered on too. This is really bad for Yeye if their medic gets killed here. Scout kind of beefing a bit. If the medic gets this pack, Sakura's going to live, but not going to get that. Gets killed by the DZ rollers. And that is the recapture in for DCMC. It's going to be close here because both teams are likely to get the double overtime again. And neither medic's going to have for quite a while.
Spawn are in favor of Yeye here, which is something
Jeye
very important. And yeah, Yeye finds Q on the backline with the revolver, opening up a ton of space right now. There's still 10 seconds too. Det gonna wait for Sakura to get back in. Blitztank on the side, gonna trade with Constantly, but I think as an engineer for a defending soldier is what you'll take. Yeye back on the point, and we're gonna see another overtime here. DZ coming in on the side, not landing the pipes, charges Alpha with only 4 seconds left. He can't get back on in time.
Oh, but the
Pirates and
RPC.
RPC.
Cinder, 2 headshots. They're on the point right now, but the stab in from Yeye and Toss cleaning up the last player is gonna get them off in the point just in time. That was so close in the end. Cinder actually found 2 really good picks on defensive classes, taking down the Heavy and one other. I didn't see exactly who it was, but after that, the players who were coming onto point from Bathhouse got wiped up, and because of the airblots on the front, they couldn't get on in time to contest.
Moxie was really smart there, watching that left side, air blasting, I believe it was potentially Pyrus or DZ and RPC off the point, making sure that, you know, once Luigi died on that right side, no one was able to get onto the left and keep the overtime going. If that happens, then maybe you see the round continue, but you know, it feels like he's been just steadily improving as the game's gone on. You know, that one Uber, even though they didn't end up getting Q, because, you know, we saw 2 instances of scouts kind of beefing a few more shots than they should have. You know, it's a lot more sound than the, you know, walk the Heavy out 2v9 into the enemy team.
Yeah, and we're saying that they are improving as the game goes on, but that last round was really close, and a lot of things could have changed how that went. It really just a couple clutch plays turned the value of that round on its head. We will never know what happens in any other case, but the 2-1 lead for Yeye is what we have here going into halftime, and we have the logs for you on your screen. Some things I'm surprised about is Dotwet and RPC are actually putting in really good performances on Scout here on Lakeside. Granted, it's kind of the thing where your Scout takes beam across point and gets a bunch of kills, but they're doing it pretty well.
Yeah, see a lot of kills on both of them, and just, you know, this has been a really bloody game too, so that's going to leave even more kills for the scouts to clean up. It's a bit of a soldier diff coming in. Blitztank putting 24 and 21, which isn't absolutely stellar, though he is second fragging for his team, actually, but compared to the 8 and 20 Toss put up, really is not that solid. A frag difference overall, really, with despite losing, DCMC putting up 10 more, but the sniper diff is another one coming in big, I think, as is the demo, where Homeless top fragging his team with 24, and Cinder going 14 and 16. I do not think the Sydney was a smart option there. Really didn't end up doing too much work.
He was only running it for a little bit. Yeah, a lot of times it was just Homeless getting in really good spots and getting just kill streaks, like multiple kills in a row on Cinder. When Cinder found the picks, it was good, but when your sniper is bottom fragging the server on Lakeside, something has to change. Whether or not it's the angles that he takes, taking less SVS.
Because that is DZ Creeper bottom fragging.
Oh yeah.
Not able to. I don't know. I don't know if the theory is working right now. I don't even know if the shield's the problem or it's just his positioning is just that bad.
I'm not sure if the shield's the problem. I'm gonna sort here by demo man kills actually. Both Yeye pick classes have 6 kills onto DZ Creeper. That's 12 of his deaths. How many does he have in total? That is
19, I think.
19. Okay, 12 of your 19 deaths are pick classes. You're running the shield to be invulnerable to explosive classes and pyro. So the pick classes can't be what's getting you.
I mean, in a sense that, yeah, you know, you can get sniped that often, but he's getting himself sniped way too, like, early in fights. You know, he's not getting sniped as he's backing out after doing a ton of damage. He's walking up on point directly into a sightline, shooting 2 pipes and getting sniped. Or he's just getting stabbed while he's reloading. And, like, it just, you know, I understand that DZ's off-classing here. You know, we last saw him on, well, we didn't last see him, but most notable performance was coming second in Invite on Masiti Nova. So you'd think a medic maid might have a little bit better pick class awareness. You know, I don't want to you know, insinuate too much if he's main calling, especially because that can take a lot of brain cells away from watching out for pick classes. But you really need to just play smarter around that. Couple of times too where I think he got stabbed in the middle of his team, which maybe you can, you know, argue a little bit, but Det did so much in that game and managed to out-damage DZ, die less to scouts, and get picked less while running stickies and doing more damage. So, like...
Yeah, I would definitely put Det in MVP conversation for that first half. Just so much damage, a lot of kills, and cleanup damage. And as well as his sacks were flawless. The sticky jumping...
drop he got on Q in Bathhouse
he did it twice.
picturesque.
First time he got a force, the second time he got the drop. Or I'm not sure if it was a drop or a kill or not, but he got the medic pick. And he's able to do that multiple times and get an advantage for his team. It's just really clutch for Det. And whenever that happens, if they're able to win the round off it, like the rounds were close. Like that play is the difference maker, one of many potentially. But yeah, just really impressive play from Yee's demo man.
Yeah, meanwhile, on, speaking of the recipients of those sacks, it feels like Yeye's aggression has been, catching Q out, whereas a lot of Sakura's deaths have been more for, personal errors, I feel like. Like you could say Q maybe should have forced to debt there. Granted, I think most medics would have dropped due to how, smooth that was, but I think that despite them winning, there's still spots where Yeye can improve.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And if we see Sakura leaving fights sooner, maybe making better calls on Ubers. We saw, I think they stopped using Uber on Yeye so often towards the end there, which I don't think was doing them any favors. And if they can just keep kind of sharpening that combo play, keep Sakura's debts lower, and let people like Det, Toss, Homeless, and Jay-Z keep finding picks onto Q, I think these next 2 rounds could be a lot more one-sided than the previous 2, because the right gears are turning for Yeye right now. Their scouts doing well, their demos doing well, their snipers doing well. Those are the classes that historically you need to do well to win Call, right?
Yeah, that's a fair assumption. And a lot of other players they have are doing well as well. They're Jay keeping up with Jack, doing a lot of good work as well. Crucial cleanups, good medic picks as well. Although, if we want to look over at DCMC and what they can do, right? Because they're not out of this by any stretch of the imagination, right? They're down 1 round, sure. We were kind of pegging them as the worst looking team after 3 rounds here, but I feel like they do have a lot going for them in that Blitz tank is absolutely demolishing everyone he runs into. There's just so much damage and work being done by Blitztank. Even if the deaths are high, it's Lakeside Soldier, your deaths are going to be high. It just feels like he's making a lot of space for his team. Him and Jack are combining for a lot of really good plays that would catch a lot of good players off guard. Micah as well is doing a lot of work as a frontline engineer, getting capture time, getting kills and damage. So even if Constantly is out-fragging him by 4, I've seen Micah on the front lines and making a lot of space. It definitely has game impact.
Yeah, no, I mean, the classes are there, but again, it feels like most of the people you just named are the role players, right? Not the stars of the show. And as much as there are things DCMC has going well for them, and they won a round and then lost 2 basically double overtimes, right? So we can't be too harsh on them. They've been doing things right. But it just, to me, it feels like other than, RPC, DZ and Cinder really need to get into gear in the second half, because Homeless is just constantly finding frags. Cinder definitely picked it up towards the end a bit, but the first 2 rounds, I think that there's a pretty substantial difference. And even just the damage alone between the snipers, 5k for Cinder compared to 8,500 for Homeless. 3,500 damage over 3 rounds is a significant margin. It's just that many more people dying. It's that many more, body shots onto DZ Creeper, stopping him from playing aggressively, right? Just all of that adds up over time. And again, additionally, the extra damage from Det is just putting so much pressure onto the DCMC, team. They're not able to be as aggressive for as long.
Yeah, definitely a lot of factors contribute into that, and they will be looking to remedy those in the second half. We have coming up for you guys in just a little bit here, as teams are looking to get players restarted back into the server. We'll have this for you real quick. If you want to, I'm going to take another look at the stats like in depth to see like what exactly is going on in the rounds where Yeye won. The second round, Homeless outfragged Cinder. It looks like it was 12-4, which is kind of brutal. Second round though, the sniper kills were 6-6 in total, which shows Cinder is trending upward and definitely does give hope for him to kind of bring it back in this second half. So there definitely is hope for DCMC here. They have players who can do it. They are trending slightly in the better direction, even if they haven't been winning the last 2 rounds. But we are going to be into the second half here.
Easy on stickies, I think.
Yeah, I don't see a shield on him. Going to be shooting those stickies across point, trying to get some damage across. Yeye is going for their patented left side push mid aggressively. It's going to pay off with a kill onto Micah and Pyrus early. They have point presence. Luigi going to get taken down by the revolver. Jay-Eazy's in there doing work. Going to take down that heavy and get in the backline. Although Cinder and RPC have found some counter picks. Jay-Eazy going down, chase down before he can find that medic. And there's Moxie reflect kill onto Blitztank. So numbers in the favor of Yeye despite a very chaotic mid. Neither medic has gone down yet. Cinder finding another kill onto Wet, but Cap should go in the favor of Yeye for now, as they're the only team with players near the point.
Yeah, and just to get, it's been the same thing. It feels like 4 times in a row, and it's pretty much worked all 4 times. And just really solid performance right there. Homeless going to take out Pyrus right as he's walking up. Toss coming in, looking to get the force out of Q, hits him low, but not low enough. Jay-Z, though, coming in on the revolver, will get the force. Cinder going to get sniped out as well, so if Yeye can survive this Uber, they'll be in a very good spot. They will force onto Det. The repush coming out, looking to force them back. Q should escape right now, unless we see Dotwet go super deep, but he will not.
Many needs to go down for Dotwet.
Almost actually gets taken out on the back line by Blitztank and Dotwet and Sakura. The explosive classes for DCMC making their mark known. The collapse looking picturesque right there. All coming in. Blitztank will be the only death there, as Q, keeping his life on that Uber, will come back in and is now sitting on a 40% ad over Sakura. DCMC really thinking, I think the Stickies might be helping them out a little bit.
Yeah, and mostly in that fight though, clutch collapse from Blitztank off of the enemy bats, had a lot of space to work with off of their bathhouse take, got in behind and just crushed Yeye on the re-engage, and that complete wipe got the kill into Sakura as well. Meanwhile, Q gonna keep that 50% Uber ad, and they have another bathhouse hold to work with. It's gonna be about Cinder here. If Cinder can post up and start being that turret that Homeless was in the first half, we saw, so it's gonna be about that.
Looks like they are leaving Bat though in response to the bomb, but Toss is just gonna walk right in, force Q with a 100 damage rocket. So they leave the safety of Bath and still get forced. Toss will eventually be taken out on the backline. RPC getting 8 kills already. Really positioning himself well to clean those up. Yeye looking to fight Bathhouse, but no heals in it. Means that damage is going to stick. Only the level 1 dispenser to keep them healed.
Almost
right
a scope
there.
on it too. It's a bit dangerous right now as we see Cinder scoping out main right now, not going to look for the counter snipe angle, which is fine. Oh, we see DZ peeking into the sideline. Homeless misses that shot though. We see Yeye right now taking beam, trying to peek into this bathhouse. They have a disguised heavy in the corner. So Homeless gets a stab, or Jack gets stabbed stabbed onto Homeless. I'm floundering a bit there, but it's a point rotation now for Yeye as they do have an Uber advantage.
Yeah, and they are getting aggro right in here. Dotwet will go down, actually. Gonna get a take a meat shot, but huge bomb in by Toss. Lands on the little ledge and will find Q. Q goes down. Really big kill. RPC will pick up his 10th and 11th right there. But it's still a win for Yeye there as they manage to take out Q and get the point back. The survivors.
Not back yet though, actually. DCMC have retained control of the point, and Sakura gonna keep her life there on the back out. Jack again finding a stab onto Homeless, so making some space for his team to come up and defend. And with that numbers decide, Yeye weren't actually able to cap, but there's Cinder on the point, standing tall, taking on that enemy medic as she walks through main, and that's gonna be the recap for Yeye as they have the point presence. But it's all about the cleanup. Who are they able to get? Moxie gets taken out immediately. Dotwet as well gets cleaned up. GZ does find RPC and end his kill streak, but that's gonna be it for that repush, as it's 5 players alive, gonna have 7 on the respawns for DCMC.
Micah's got his dispenser up to level 3 in Bathhouse and never went down despite
That's
all
really
of that. And he's going to be recapping right now. Yeah, actually underrated play right there, getting that in Bathhouse. So there's just that much more health and ammo to spread amongst everyone holding in there. The recap will be swift. We're now seeing DCMC up a minute on time, which I want to say is one of the biggest leads they've had all game. It's a slight Uber ad on Q right now, so unless Yeye pushes the pedal to the metal, tries to catch him out before he gets it, they will be pushing into Uber disad with less than 45 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Luigi peeking out from Bathhouse here, trying to find some space, doing some work. We're going to see a bit of a counterplay for Yeye, trying to walk people in there in response. Jay-Z finds the opening pick onto Cinder. Cinder kind of playing by himself in that main area, so it's a bit of a misposition. But here's the bomb in from Toss, trying to find one more rocket, gets that force onto Q with the help of Jay-Z revolving in the back. It's all about going to be kiting for Sakura here, trying to keep this ad. In the backline, Blitztank is on the enemy bats, but not going to find the angle he wants, going to keep his life instead. And although DCMC have retained possession of the point, Sakura's full Uber to work with, although it is a minute 50 to 10 seconds here, you need to cap this up.
Yeah, the Uber will come out, going in really deep on Dotwet. He's going to flank behind right there, but the cap time's coming through right now. Yeye posted up in that corner, going to take some damage, but actually go down. Homeless and Yeye going down, though. DZ and Cinder are the trades. Pyrus doing a lot of work, denying on point, will eventually get taken out. And ooh, Q is low. Will Dotwet be able to chase him out? He will not. Likely going to go down to RPC. Chases even further. Gets Q even lower, but will go down. Yeye, though, importantly, going to take that cap back, but they lose a large amount in the process. Luigi already looking to edge back in. Toss, though, fighting him in Bath. Going to pick up the bat in the pack, but that level 3 dispenser healing so much. Hey, lets him win the fight. He looking to push,
in here from DCMC, walking forward, going to recontest point from Bathhouse and the stairs. They're getting some frags, but losing some players in return as well. Jack and Cinder finding some 2 cleanup on Constantly and Homeless, and now point is had by DCMC. They have an Uber on it, going to clean up the remaining players and round in favor of DCMC, and that one was clinical.
Yeah, we see a complete reversal of the sniper situations this time too. Zoe sitting near the top of the board with 18
Homeless
points.
is at the bottom.
Homeless only with 4. Blizztank and Jack have been finding him constantly. So the score will be tied coming in on this mid. DZ gonna get hit up quite a bit early. Will get himself an arrow though, and all will be fine. Constantly getting super aggro, trying to get some chip damage onto
DCMC
point,
actually
but
have position on point here. They're spamming onto the ramp. They have Pyrus close as well, so Yeye not actually going to get the push across they want so much. Homeless has gone down. Luigi does get stabbed though, so that's a big early pick for the spy of Yeye. Blizztank is on the backline doing a lot of work and distraction, taking down the Pyro to low HP. You see Toss going to try and get out there just in time, gonna a lot of damage out. There's the Det coming in.
good
cleanup,
Det
though.
from Det,
RPC.
yeah. But Sakura though on the backline, Blizztank finds her again. Yeye gonna go down too. Blizztank eventually loses his life for that med pick, but Q now sitting on full Uber ad, meaning it's quite a worthwhile trade. Pyrus and I believe just Pyrus, yeah, and DZ gonna cap that back up. Dot on Luigi's head. Homeless sitting on the far side bats right there, looking for an angle. Not gonna find the shot, as it looks like DCMC will be content to play behind point rather than moving into Bath. Q thinking about it, but not yet committing, despite the fact that
they're a
Luigi's
bit
sitting
split
back
up.
on his own.
Sakura does not have Uber, but Q does, so we're going to have to see DCMC try to walk forward and contest this point. Yeye getting forward. Toss bombing in one rocket, gonna get that force before he gets taken down by the mini. Right now it's about walking forward, finding some kills. They're trying to get on RPC, but no one's close enough. Blitztank is bombing in the backline, trying to find Sakura, not gonna be able to get that kill. Cinder has killed Yeye in the process though. Successful force for Yeye there. They got the point presence, it almost got capped up, and now they're gonna be able to walk out here.
Yeah, and that is exactly what you need from your sack right there. Sakura sitting on 80%, should have soon as long as she's able to stay alive while walking up to point. They already have some cap time. Dotwit getting aggro on the far side, looking to get some extra just presence sitting on that point. Sakura will come up on Uber. I'm expecting this to be used pretty soon, but if they can get the point without it, they'd be in a good
Yeye
spot.
just walked onto point in thing pretty much, didn't take out Fist, and Rev died
Big bomb
immediately.
out of toss, hits 1, 2 rockets on Q,
Oh,
will
Dotwit
not land the
with the
third, but
cleanup, though.
Dotwet cleans it up right there. Sakura still sitting on that Uber as well, putting Yeye in a very good position to help even the timeout. They are getting really aggressive, though. They need to make sure they don't overextend, but Yeye on bats is going to be applying pressure from behind as well. Cinder, though, takes out Homeless, looking to get into Bath. No sniper for Yeye defending will be the one blessing DCMC has here, pushing on almost full disap.
Yeah, Jay's is in the background calling this push up to the point. Sakura 100% Uber are going to try and get people pressuring the point. Cinder and Blitztank do go down early, and there's the Uber from Yeye trying to find this cleanup. Q dipping and dodging. Not going to take too much damage quite yet, but Jay's in the backline. Pulled out the revolver, trying to get the kill, but not going to find the shots he needs. One more bombing from Toss, trying to find good surf out, but a second rocket connects, and there's Q getting taken down. Toss finding another key play onto the enemy medic, and Sakura's going to retain another Uber advantage. Yeye are down players though. They're going to have to back up here, see this point control. They'll be fine with that, but Blitztank in the back. One more rocket will do it. Doesn't land the splash. Blitztank will keep his life, but Sakura is out of there. Jack gonna get taken down before he can get any revolver shots, so good back out from Yeye there. They keep their Uber advantage, but time is even now.
Yeah, and on top of that, too, is just a kind of poor Uber from Yeye. I don't know if Sakura got air blasted or just wasn't positioning correctly, but she brought in Det and Toss, or Dotwet, excuse me, and both of them got dropped on the Uber. I don't know if they overextended or she was getting air blasted back, but needs to be better communication there to not let, both of those people die on an Uber. Got to keep at least one of them up.
Oh, Luigi gets a lot of cleanup across the point from Bathhouse, gets the kill onto Yeye and Toss. Luigi does get stabbed immediately after though, so his life is traded. Recap in for Yeye here. They don't have to use Uber for it, so that's pretty good. Cinder, another snipe onto Homeless, doing wonders this round, and that is going to force his Uber across point.
Oh, Jay's in the back though!
There's the revolver
crisp
shots.
3-shot onto Q. Q taking a little bit of chip damage from the from Dotwet, I believe, running forward. Going to be enough for the 3 revolver shots to take him out. So Yeye, feels like constantly just pulling better Ubers, finding Q more and more often, and it is going to be a massacre. Yeye going to go down eventually to Luigi, and actually they are going to get some cap time.
Toss looking for the med pick, but caught out immediately. So this will be the recap for DCMC. I'm not sure if they want to stay here very long. Yeah,
Blizztank comes in right when Yeye was a little bit distracted, I guess. Maybe he wasn't, actually, no, he went down in that, so no heavy to protect. Sakura just gets 2 rockets, and she will go down. So despite all the good things Yee's been doing recently, they will still find themselves in a time hole with an Uber to set.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation for them. They have to kind of choose between dry pushing on point right now and trying to get a med kill. Micah going to go down early, although Dotwit gets sniped out by Cinder in the trade, so no scout means it's really hard to poke up here. Moxie as well getting caught out in the enemy bathhouse. Toss not going to get anything on his aggression either, so really good position for DCMC right now. This full Uber ad is going to let them walk out here. Homeless and Yeye get killed as well. Det sniped again. Cinder doing wonders this round. I said it once, I'll say it again. taking control of this bathhouse, getting these angles, and DCMC are clutch in this round.
And Luigi and DZ playing super aggro on Yeye's ruins. Toss gonna jump forward, but gonna be forced to just go back to spawn. Yeye's not even leaving spawn right now. Sakura only sitting on 5% Uber. As the time just ticks even further down, unless something, massive happens. Cinder taking out Moxie, just going to lower that even more. Toss looking to get into Bath, but Dotwet can't make it too far out. DZ getting stabbed by Jay-Z. That may be the pick that they need. The full Uber at first,
Stickies almost did 140 damage, and Q gets the pop-off in time. We see Pyrus RPC walking forward on point, cleaning up Yee and constantly. Luigi, Micah, and Pyrus do get traded, though. Det having some good projectile aim, taking these kills, but there's Jack stabbing that Demo Man. That's a key pickup here. It's going to be about RPC here. How much damage can he do on the Scout? It's only those two push forward now. Toss going to bomb forward, but gets cleaned up. DZ's pipes across the point, going to do a lot of damage. It's people contesting point. RPC isn't going to get taken down, though. Importantly, Q did get out alive, and here's DC bombing forward. They want to keep the contention going. Jack not going to find the stab he wants. Gets his knife melted as well, but Moxie is going to die for denying that spy. It's going to be walking forward here from Micah and Luigi doing some presence. Toss trying to find anything, gets air blasted straight into the sky. They can't get point presence. They're going to lose their heavy and Pyro.
The Uber comes out just in time, though. Q, Pyrus both go down. They can find DZ on the side. That'll be huge, but it looks like we move back out and get the pack, but that Uber was perfectly timed with just a pixel of cap time remaining. Yeah, Luigi needs to die here. The hit scan will take him out. Good headshot by Homeless, as Dotwet going down is going to hurt. But Q going down is even bigger there, as it means that no Uber can possibly come in until, the next, until double overtime comes through. But DCMC just has the spawns. They're in so much faster, and it's not even going to matter, as the faster spawn timings just let DCMC run back in. So, valiant effort, but we will see DCMC come back and take 2 more rounds once DZ switches over to Stickies. So we're now sitting on a 3-2 DCMC lead right now.
Yeah, we have a third. It's been feels like forever since I've seen a third half on a cast for Koth.
Definitely, yeah, and we can get logs up right now and see what happened there. I'm expecting to kind of just hitting the scoreboard right now, seeing Homeless sitting on 13 points. I'm kind of expecting what's going to show up here.
Cinder 18-6 that half. Homeless 7-13. Over double the kills of his opposition that time. Cinder turned it up at the proper time. Going to help his team get that 3-2 lead and just completely 180 from what we saw earlier.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just the halftime or just, pep talk if Jack's giving better comms, but Zoe able to turn it around, which was one of the things we said would need to happen for DCMC to start winning these. And granted, it feels like the damage difference actually between Det and DZ Creeper might be even bigger now than it was before. But what I think is important is that DZ is keeping his life. He only died 5 times there compared to the 5 times in 2 rounds compared to the 19 and 3 we saw in the first half. Just being alive, and being on Stickies now, even if you're not doing damage, you're zoning, you're creating pressure, you're being annoying, you're stopping everyone on Yee from playing the exact style how they want to play. And that's giving value in and of itself. We see RPC doing very well again. Luigi pulling a 15-6 as well, probably benefiting from having more of a combo member this time too. So DCMC can keep this kind of dynamic going. I think they'll be in a very solid spot.
Yeah, we can talk about the sniper swap, the sniper flip on, the kind of power position. We can talk about the Demo Man damage difference still being there, even though DZ is doing a lot better. The biggest difference in that round, which on the stats page and also was evident in the game, RPC with his 19 and 4 KD and 425 damage on Scout. That is absurd levels of just efficiency coming out from the DCMC Scout. In comparison, Dotwet 12 and 11, that's okay. 220 DPM, not quite getting the cleanup or the big damage that you want from your Scout, depending on how your team wants to play. It just felt like Dotwet was kind of an afterthought with how they were playing. I'm not sure if he didn't get as many Ubers, wasn't able to find his openings.
Well, I know he got dropped at least once, and I think there's another time where he got headshot right as they walked out and were trying to use. So
I know at the end there, I feel like he died to snipers 2 times in a row, like when they were trying to contest the point at the end. And when you're lost by 45 seconds, when you're contesting overtime for that long, those little things matter. And it just felt like RPC was having his way wherever he went. Tons of free shots, only 4 deaths. I think that's a bottom death on the server. It is. You're still at bottom death and top fragged your team. It's very hard to lose when that happens.
Yeah, and something I've been kind of looking to say, in the pregame but never found time to, is that, as I said, I'm a sub on DCMC, so I check their logs from time to time, and RPC pulls these stat logs more often than you would think. I remember when we scrimmed DCMC in preseason, we'd look at the logs and see him dropping, you know, like a 40 and 10, and we'd be like, it didn't feel like he was getting that many kills, did it? But it's just because he's always playing there, you know, he's always in the right spot, cleaning up on damage. You know, you could say that's baiting to an extent.
It's efficient is what it is for Highlander
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He's playing in positions where he can clean up on his teammates' damage, which is exactly what a scout should be doing.
And it's not like he didn't do damage himself. 425 is insane. Like, he was hitting the meat when he needed to.
He's cleaning up on those kills, but he's also managing to win 1v1s as well. And when you can do both of those, you're in a really good spot. He's not just, you know, botting it on flank and, you know, like 1-for-1ing with an engineer or something. No, he's killing the soldier on his med. He's, you know, shooting the demo on point with his own demo man, getting a kill on that, then running into Bath and killing the engineer. And because he already got those other 2 kills, he can't get traded out.
Yeah, brutally efficient scout play from RPC there. DZ Creepers, Surge, Cinder's Surge meant it's a 2-0 for them. Like, all the key players, we mentioned the first half, Scout, Demo, Sniper, key classes on Koth. This time they were all in favor of DCMC, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Yeah, so exact what was I going to say? Exactly what they needed to do, really. So now you know the onus is going to be on
Yeye to make something happen,
to make things happen, and now they're on match point right now too, so they don't have any rounds to really blow right here. So Homeless needs to step it up right here. I think that again we need to see Dotwet, you know, play a little bit smarter as well. You know, kind of filling in DZ's creeper shoes. They're getting picked maybe a little bit too often. Respect the sightlines a little more, and maybe they were playing a little bit carefree because Zoe was having such a rough first half, or Cinder was having such a rough first half.
Sometimes when you play a half in Highlander and you never get headshot when you peek anything, you keep that mentality, but if the sniper starts turning it on, you're like, oh, all of a sudden I'm getting headshot here. I should change how I'm playing. We might see that come in a bit here in the third half.
And, you know, that's something you could maybe chalk up to the relative inexperience that Yeye has, right? Some of the people on DCMC, I mean, Cinder, you know, especially, I think has, you know, was playing before I was, and that was season 9 of UGC. So that's sitting on over 20 seasons of Highlander, whereas most of Yeye, this is their 3rd season. So in a game that goes longer like this, where you're seeing, you know, more kind of ups and downs between the teams, it would make sense that, you know, the people who've been through this enough times and, you know, aren't letting their emotions control them as much, maybe could be pulling out, you know, some slight gains in the mental. You know, they know how to go down. They know how to go down 1-2 in a match and then pull it back. Whereas I can't speak for, you know, Yee's comms right now, but there might be a decent chance they're not in a familiar position right now. Because again, remember, this is a team that technically those matches, I think where that got overturned because of a cheater didn't count. But this is a team that has lost only, you know, functionally lost 1 match while they've been in a server in 3 seasons. So losing is not something that comes naturally to this team. And scrims obviously are different, but matches are always a different story.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe knowing how to lose is how you end up winning, finding those improvements mid-match. And I know specifically Zoe from playing on it, or Cinder, excuse me, playing on a team with them in the past, knowing how to lose is a thing that we did very well. And then we ended up getting better at it, so who knows? Maybe that experience is being the difference maker here. That said, there are improvements that you need to make individually as well. Something I kind of want to point out that we overlooked in the logs initially is that Toss is kind of running the Muma stat line right now, where you're 5 and 16, but you're out damaging the enemy soldier. So maybe that's just not as efficient as they need him to be.
Dying for damage, and I think a couple of those, there were at least, I want to say 3 times there where we went in and died to get a sack off, so you know, you could maybe add 3 kills there, just as like as a courtesy. I think if you get a Uber Force off that's basically worth as much as a kill is, so.
It's just interesting because Bliss Tank has been playing phenomenally in both halves so far, but that said, we're going to be into the final half here. It's a 3-2 lead for DCMC. They need 1 more to close it out. Mid starting out, we see Bliss Tank going behind on bats on his bomb. RPC as well taking out Dawet and the Scout. He scout immediately, so that's a big add for DCMC to work with. Although they have given up Bathhouse control, Jack finds a stab onto the heavy, but there's Homeless with that Bathhouse angle. Gonna take down DZ Creeper. Jack goes down in the backline. Toss as well getting taken down. Cinder trades headshots onto constantly. Gonna get that pick, and Homeless as well dying to the Luigi heavy flank from Bathhouse. Means the control is all in favor of DCMC right now.
Yeah, you know, it's just a really good repush. Cinder landed a headshot onto constantly, so now Homeless goes from feeling comfortable in Bath, you know, getting a demo pick, to just getting absolutely shredded by Luigi walking in. Sakura gonna get half health walking out of main by DZ Stickies, but the Uber comes out early right now. And they might even find Pyrus, as Q has, but just elects to lose his Pyro. They will pop out significantly later, but they've already lost 3 players. Moxie doing a great job of stuffing this Uber, and that may have been a little bit of a bait on Q's end. Homeless going to take out Cinder. Blizztank going to trade with Toss. He goes down, but very, very solid Uber from Yeye, although it might be more accurate to say it was just a bit of a lapse from DCMC.
Yeye built Uber a lot faster there. Because of that, they were able to push across and get the kills that they wouldn't have been able to get otherwise. So I'd say it's just overall good play from Sakura there, getting that Uber that much faster. And with that, they did get the first cap, and their med stayed alive. So in favor of Yeye right now is the Tides. But that said, Blizztank gonna get some space in Bathhouse, trying to find some angles to work with. Luigi gonna get a walk across point with that. DZ helping him out and doing some damage. Jet can go down to Micah Lele's shotgun. Micah in a 1v1 with Dot Wet, and he's gonna get out alive. Take down Dot Wet low. That should be some cleanup here from RPC, but doesn't want to overchase. That's some good composure right there. Cinder as well, finding the SBS win onto Homeless, and with that, they're gonna be able to get Bathhouse here.
Yeah, and right now, Sakura is coming up on Uber, but if this continues, then Yee's not looking at a very hopeful future for them right now. They need to, get some kind of explanation point. Or exclamation point in this round to, kind of turn things in their favor. It may be another good sack coming out from Det right there as the Bathhold's coming up, so if he can get that angle again, it'd be really good. But he's really just sticking in spawn right now despite having Uber, and this is time wasting they don't have.
Luigi is super far forward on the enemy ruins right now. He's going to get tossed for free there, kind of cheesing him on the angle. He's going to get cleaned up for his greed. And they're going to lose their spy as well, getting chased down by Moxie across the point. Homeless gets sniped by Cinder, so Cinder keeping the fire going right now. We're going to see DCMC trade Ubers in Bathhouse here, as it is a solo heavy Uber from Yeye, trying to walk forward and get some kills. Yeezy and Moxie do have a lot of damage, and they get a kill into Jack and Cinder, and Yeye gets the kill into Pyrus with the end of his Uber. So it's a 6-9 right now in the favor of Yeye with the 9. Toss jump in, trying to get some damage. Mike can go down to Dot Wet on the side, and they are trying to get the repush here, but with 3 men down, Q's kind of looking to back out here. They're trying to contest still. They're at a big numbers disadvantage, and they get the enemy spy, but point is capped up by Yeye.
Yeah, not only that, but Moxie goes down right afterwards, so no pyro means no denial for these stickies. It's going to force Det to get really forward. Luigi in the head glitch will be forced back, but no harm, no foul there. They're going to rotate over to the other side of point. Try it again. DZ trying to land some pipes. Hit Sakura, almost kills her right off of that. She's going to be forced back. But Homeless getting sniped out. Yeye loses the heavy v heavy end constantly, all dying near Bathhouse. Going to really hurt Yee's defense here. This is going to be the recap coming out from DCMC right as Q comes up on Uber. Sakura still only sitting on 85, meaning that with less than a minute left coming up right now, Yeye has to be in desperation mode. Easy in Bath needs to find something on this decloak, and Sakura's Uber needs to come out quickly.
Yeah, although the knife is going to get melted.
Caught.
Yeah, that's unfortunate timing. You're not going to be able to push with his team as Sakura's Uber is up, and you need to make something happen right now. They're walking out of main. Toss trying to get some pressure in Bathhouse at the same time. Gets one rocket reflected kind of on the angle. Jack taken down, though, so no spy to worry about. DZ gets reflected by Moxie. Great job there to make an opening for his team. And there's, again, a solo heavy Uber in the Bathhouse. I don't know what that's all about, but it is going to get a lot of space to work with as Toss gets the bomb onto Cinder. Trades his life via RPC, but he have control of the point. Now, RPC is able to find the heavy in trade on a 6K, but the point goes over in Yee's side. Q is behind the point right now on Ruins, trying to find anyone to link up with, but no one's there. Q trying to back out, keep his life, and he will end up doing that. There's Homeless headshotting RPC for the cleanup, and Yeye now have the point. They're going to have Uber advantage to work with.
Jack getting caught out near Bath, gonna go in, almost gets the stab onto Homeless, turns around just in time, and that's perfect because he needs to stay alive right now in order to keep this hold going. There is an Uber ad on the side of Yeye right now, which is good for them, but they need to keep their players, and they can't lose this before that Uber comes into play. Cinder getting stabbed by Yeezy. First time I want to say it feels like Cinder's died this round. Going to be really big. Dawit and constantly super forward, or that's Moxie, excuse me. Super forward on point, but Toss gets taken out by Blizztank in Bath. Luigi going to help take that over as well.
Yee's side right now. They have 3 players below 20 HP. They're going to get some heals out, but Toss and constantly work casualties because of that. Sakura is up on Uber, but they're in a 7v9 situation right now. Make that 6v9 as Yeezy gets caught out in the health pack room. This heavy is on the head glitch angle, trying to take some damage. Going to get forced back, though. Yeye only on 85 HP, and we are in a pause right now, so...
No, server lag. No, we're right back in. DC gets blasted into the ammo pack, but the Uber comes out in time to save him, whereas Det goes down. No demo is going to be huge in this post, depending on how the kills go over. Blizztank and Jack going over as well, but the cap time in DCMC's favor. They will not finish it off yet. Moxie's stalling for as long as he can. Finally goes over to DCMC. The spawns are now longer on their side, and with 20 seconds left, that will come into play. But Toss takes out Micah, and if a bomb can maybe come in, do something, but they need to create pressure right here. They need to do something to force Luigi back. Yee's just going to walk up onto it, risking the sightline. Cap time coming through. Death getting tons of stickies in. Yeah, no sniper being able to take shots right now will be huge in letting them cap this. but now these spawns switch right back as Yeye takes it right as DCMC takes into
The
overtime.
health is so bad again. They have tons of players in the red. Yeye gonna get taken out by the backstab on Jack's side, and DZ Creeper gonna clean up the enemy demo man. So no combo for Yeye right now. Their pyro went down as well. It's all to the flank and the pick classes of Yeye to contest this point. It's overtime for DCMC. A cap means a win. They're trying to get forward. They're trying to make pressure. Dawet is going for some scattergun shots on the close left, but gets two shot by RPC.
Ubers are both up on both teams. Uber's gonna come out, but Toss uses to jump into bat. Sakura blocking point all on her own, but they are... Oh, the better Uber coming out from Q. This is bad for Yeye. That is going to be, ooh, a big aerial kill onto Toss. Here comes a Moxie, dies instantly. DCMC only needs another second. No one on Yeye able to make it, and they will take this match 4-2.
That is the win for DCMC right now. That's an upset win in the standings, and in they end up breaking the big win streak by Yeye that they've had ever since moving up divisions multiple times. So really good job by DCMC there to kind of flex their muscles on a map that is a bit more difficult to play.
And all credit really goes to, I think, primarily Zoe and DZ for, you know, adapting and being able to improve in the middle of that match, because remember that they started this out down, you know, they won the first game, won the first round, lost 2 in a row, then came back to win 3.
Yeah, you never really want to say it on cast because you're trying to be, you know, kind of a bit more impartial, a bit more, you know, just fair. But in the first half, they really lost a lot of those rounds because their demo man and sniper weren't getting anything on Lakeside, which it's Lakeside. You kind of just need those classes to do well. That's how it works. But the way they're able to adapt, improve, and really get on their game by the end of it, whether it's switching on to stickies, trying to change up your playstyle, or just turning it on in terms of positioning and aim like Cinder did, really just key play from them that allows them to come back and take a 3-0 reverse sweep, kind of, even though they had a round, 3 rounds in a row for the win.
Yeah, not a full reverse sweep, but definitely a comeback win. And this is great, you know, moving into, you know, for the challenger narrative, because now you've got the rock, paper, scissors of the top 3 teams, right? Anytime you go into, you know, playoffs and the grand finals are not like a foregone conclusion, which it feels like they often are in Invite, it's gonna be a really entertaining playoffs picture, I think. So, and part of that is that, you know, whoever likely comes out of those playoffs, you know, maybe being seen a little bit more next season in Invite casts. So always good to come down a bit and get some new blood on the stream, since I think a lot of these names, you know, even though there are some of the older names, right? Even the names that haven't been as well known yet are going to start showing up a lot more in the future. So just a good game overall.
Yeah, definitely a fun one to watch. The 4-2 finish for DCMC was the end result. We have combined logs. Looks like they're taking a bit of time for you guys processing those, but yeah, just really impressive performance by DCMC overall. And now I'm not sure exactly what the match points are, but because the 3 top teams are likely going to be sitting at 6-1 records apiece.
Yeah,
it means that
the match points, I think.
Yeah, first and second are going to have interesting tiebreakers.
I think DCMC ends up being in 3rd still, actually. Solely off of match points, though, because I think it was when Yeye beat My RGL Profits Have Declined 2-1. DCMC beat Yeye 2-1. Profits beat DCMC 3-0 in terms of the match points.
So Profits now move up the first seed then.
Assuming nothing happens in the last week of the season, I believe they would be completely tied, I think. And I'd assume tiebreaker would go to the head-to-head. But at the same time, I'm not entirely sure how deep the RGL tiebreaker system goes when it's like a 3-way at the top like this and all the teams have played each other. I know they have, like, I think they go off of is it Sonneborn Bjerg? That's it's like the tiebreaker system when you do Swiss. I've seen it done in some of the lower divisions when the schedules, you know, basically in a non-round robin. But as far as a round robin goes, I'm not sure. I'd imagine it has to be the head-to-head, right?
I'd imagine as well. It's either head-to-head or total wins. Which, it can't be total wins, so it'd be head-to-head here.
Yeah, since they'll be tied in wins and match points. So, again, assuming nothing, you know, big happens in the next week, which granted, you know, if one of the lower teams is able to come up big and, you know, just even snag a round on Steel, right? Because that is a map where you'd be very likely to see that happen. That could, you know, upset the balance there. So even though all the top teams have played each other, the quest for seeding is not yet over in Challenger. Granted, think that may be the last time we see them on cast. As next week, I believe we'll be bringing you guys MTS versus Fat Peter, I believe, over on Steel.
Which,
part of the reason why we casted this as well is because the best match would have been MTS MCM this week.
Yeah, and we wouldn't want to cast MTS 3 weeks in a row. Additionally, based on what happened tonight, which I'm not sure if that match is finished yet, next week's match might actually just not matter.
I think it should. I think as long as there's an upset possibility there, I think it should matter because we went super deep into the standings at the end of last week's cast.
Yeah, we debated very heavily like what's actually on the line. Yeah, so we'll be doing that math for you guys. There's the combined logs in case you want to look at them at the end here.
Ooh, the upset.
Yeah, and then we're gonna win that invite. Yeah, MTS actually ended up winning that match
over MCM. So that's gonna shake things up a lot because I think now MTS is favored to make it in over Freezer potentially, but I still think the last
depends what happens in the final week. Yeah.
So we'll look forward to that, right?
Yeah, next week
should be a very good one.
Next week things are spicy. Yeah, but with that, we can look to kind of close things out here. Hope you guys enjoyed this RGL Challenger cast today, doing something a bit different here. DCMC with that 4-2 victory, going to give themselves a leg up in standings, kind of try and hope to get better playoff seeding. But with that, we can go ahead and end out here. So any shout-outs you want to give out there?
Want to give shout-outs to my boys on DCMC for letting me basically glorified roster ride this season. Zoe and DZ for turning it around, and everyone on Yeye for just, climbing the divs. Always good to see.
Yep. So with that, I am Zagron, joined by Alto by my side and Dolphin behind the cam as always. Thank you all for coming out here, and we'll see you next week back to some RGL Invite Highlander action.